I was really pleased to see a full church, and I think every bottom that fills a seat in an event like this is a victory for democracy. I have to admit that behind the scenes I have been on village Facebook pages and other bits of social media trying to encourage communities to hold these hustings meetings, because it's very important that the people get to see the whites of our eyes. And I'm really pleased that it turned out like that. We've covered all the things you'd expect from the national campaign issues. The NHS has come up repeatedly, housing, education. I think education is a very special issue in Cambridgeshire, and I'm surprised we didn't get around to it tonight because of the underfunding of Cambridgeshire schools. I'm a school governor, and we're looking at our position of 149th out of 149 in the funding leagues. We've had a reprieve for this year, an extra £428 a year, but once that funding goes, we're back in the same boat, and our community schools will be looking at cutbacks, possible redundancies, and having seen what's happened to Dealey College in the last 3 weeks, where an Ofsted judgment has resulted in the head and the entire Board of Governors being shunted out, then this is an issue we really must deal with, because every educational professional must feel as if they're standing on a trapdoor, that if the Ofsted judgment goes the wrong way, they're in trouble. And I've lived in Cambridge for a long time. I'm used to the idea that the scruffy-looking person in a jumper and jeans is actually going to be an expert in some obscure field of knowledge, but not just an expert, but a world expert. So you can never underestimate anyone you meet within maybe 20 or 30 miles of Cambridge, and that of course covers this constituency. And if you think of and education and research are the pillars of the economy around here, you're going to meet people who are people who've been sequencing the human genome, people who are doing cutting-edge research, but also people working in the sort of softer social sciences who are just world experts. I travelled one evening by train from London to Cambridge, wound up in a conversation. It turns out I was talking to one of the professors within Cambridge University who'd just been at a meeting at Chatham House, and he was an expert on defence issues, and he and I talked about issues in Syria and the threats to this country. And these sorts of conversations just seem to happen in Cambridge. Local issues, and I think the big local issue is housing. We're facing a housing crisis and we need to address it. I think we've got the policies to do it. I think what the Labour Party in Cambridge are doing is going to get Cambridge on the way, but we shall see. I've tried to make myself available through social media, through Facebook, through Twitter. I live here, I walk around the streets here. Part of my campaign has been standing around street corners on a Saturday morning in some fairly blistering winds and just making myself available to be spoken with. People can come up to me, ask me questions, and I think we have a real duty to make ourselves available either in a virtual sense or in a real sense. And one of the things that I'm quite excited about is that we're about to do a virtual hustings, I think, in Willingham. And
have all the candidates signed up to it?
No. Two of the candidates are reluctant to sign up to it, and Deborah Rennie and Clive Semmons have signed up to it. I'd like to think that the others will also sign up to it. But this is the sort of thing, we're in 2015 and we can really do things in a different way, either standing around on street corners in an old-fashioned way or sitting in a virtual environment. We have a hustings meeting, a Labour candidate meeting arranged for a pub in Reach, which I'm quite looking forward to. And if my plans go the way I hope, we're going to bring back something from the 1960s. There'll be a battle bus with a loudhailer on top. So we're going to go for that approach as well.
Huw Jones, thank you very much.